Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Scans On. This is episode 10. If it's your first time listening, I appreciate you subscribe to the channel. And I know a lot of people listen to all the shows. I'll get the emails, the texts, through social media all week. I appreciate the support. Let's get to today's episode. I have a Major League Baseball player, 15 years, that was kind enough to come on the show. I'm really excited to talk about. His name's Tom Filer. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Yeah, thank you very much. Glad to be here.
I'm so happy you came to the show. Just start off, where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia, Bustleton section of the Northeast, yes.
Okay, what high school did you attend?
I went to Archbishop Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, 74 graduate.
Okay. I assume you dominated the Catholic League back then?
Well, we did pretty good. You know, my senior year we won the Catholic League. It was pretty exciting. Got an opportunity to pitch at the Veterans Stadium.
Oh, wow.
We played against Monsignor Bonner for the Catholic League title. We won that game. We wanted to play at Temple's Field, and we lost to Southern in the city playoff game.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
Southern High School. My dad went to Southern High School. We'll be watching the show tomorrow, I guarantee. How many kids were in the school at Ryan back then?
Oh, we had quite a bit. I know in my class we had 450. So, and that was just the guy side, and of course there's the girl side, which was slightly bigger. It's probably between the two classes, 1,000.
Oh, wow. And were you recruited out of high school to play college baseball?
Yes, I got a couple offers to go to college. One was LaSalle,
Right.
and the other one was Drexel University. I chose LaSalle, and I graduated from there in 1978.
1978. And were you drafted in the Major League Baseball?
No, draft day came and went, and I was very disappointed.
Right.
But I was hurt during my senior year. I hurt my elbow pretty bad. I sat out. I was 4 weeks. Came back, pitched to get into the playoffs. I pitched one game in the playoffs, and then my second game in the playoffs, I couldn't really go. My elbow was bothering me again. And at that time, I had to take another 4 weeks. So I was prescribed rest. But I was lucky enough to get picked up.
And how did you make it to the Major League? How did you start? How were you found out about?
I was lucky in a sense because after I graduated from LaSalle, I had to sit out. Then I had to sit down, rest my arm for another 4 weeks. I got an opportunity. I played Pendel baseball, which is a semi-pro league in the Philadelphia area, and I pitched the one night, and I did pretty well, but I lost 2-1 or 2-0, whatever it was. I gave up a 2-run homer in the last inning to lose the game. But my arm didn't hurt, which was a great thing. I came back 5 days later against the same team, and not unbeknownst to me, there was a scout there to look at the center fielder on the other team. And that night, I struck him out 3 times. And the scout who went to go see him came around the backstop going, "Who is this guy?" He started asking questions, and he was asking questions of my family, who were sitting right behind home plate. And that's how it really got started. He said, "I really like this guy. How old is he? Where's he from?" All these questions. And my mother said, "You have credentials?" And this guy flashed his he was with the Yankees at the time, and his name was Meade Palmer, and he showed my mother his credentials, and she says, "Oh yeah," so she started answering his questions, and that's how it all got started.
Wow, that's amazing. Can I ask if that center fielder ever made it to the major leagues?
No, I don't believe he did.
I think he took a spot. He came here looking for one guy, and they walked away.
I was lucky enough. A lot of times it's being in the right spot at the right time.
Exactly.
And that's what happened.
So when did you begin in the minor leagues?
Well, immediately I started in the Yankees organization at Oneonta, New York. You probably never heard of it, but it's near Cooperstown, New York. Maybe about an hour east of Syracuse.
Was that the lowest, like A ball?
Yeah, back then I was low A ball, yes.
How many levels did we reach the major leagues back then? How many levels in the minor leagues? Like there's usually 3 single A's, a double A, and a triple A.
There was 2 single A's, a double A.
Okay.
No, there was 3. There was 3 single A teams, a double A, and a triple A.
Okay. And how quickly did you progress through the minor league system?
Well, my next year I went to Double A, which was a big leap. I jumped a level. I jumped a high A ball. There was a low A ball and a higher A ball. Full season teams, and I jumped those and went right to Double A. and that was really, it was really nice, and I had a lot of fun in those couple of years I spent in Double A.
You always hear like stories about bus trips, or long bus trips back then, or.
Well, not like, you know.
Okay.
I was in the Eastern League. We played Reading Phillies, and you know we played Waterbury A's, and I was out of West Haven, Connecticut, which is the home of Yale. So we were right there, and the traveling was only about an hour or so commuters, and then we had our big trips was going to Buffalo, New York, which was about an 8-hour ride.
Oh yeah. And that was 1980s.
That was late 70s.
Oh, late 70s. Okay.
Oh no, that was 79. Yeah, that was 79. Yeah. And then next year I played Double A out of Nashville, Tennessee, and that was bus rides.
Yes.
The shortest bus ride was 4.5 hours, and the longest one was 13.
Right. I like Nashville. We planned a trip to Nashville on that March.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun playing there. When I played there, we were getting like 7,000 people a night.
Right. Now, is Nashville still country? Big country town even back?
Yes, back then it was too. Yeah. Not like it is now. Right now it's like a to-go spot. Everybody has to go to Nashville.
It's crazy.
Back then it wasn't like that.
Oh, okay. Because there's been rumors possibly a baseball team coming to Nashville. They have the hockey and football team. Yeah, baseball would probably be great. You know,
it's a nice town. It's really built up now. It's a lot different than when I played there.
Yes, very. So that's in 1980. In 1981, did you?
1981, I went to AAA.
Okay.
Well, the whole thing started out that I was drafted Rule 5 by the A's. So I went to the A's. I didn't make the team, and then I came back to the Yankees AAA team. I was only there for 3.5 weeks, pitched one time, and then I got sent out to the Cubs in the trade.
Okay. And for the 1982 season, you went to the Cubs minor league system?
I was in the Cubs minor league system and started, then made it to the big leagues.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you recall, how did they tell you made it to the big leagues? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Back then, they don't do it much anymore. The AAA team would play the Major League team. The Major League team would come in as a goodwill gesture to help, with sales and everything,
Sure.
and, build up some promotions for the minor league team.
Right.
And they came in to play that night, and I just happened to meet. They said, "Listen," they called me in the office and say, "Hey, listen, you're no longer with the team. You're going to go across the diamond and play for the other team." So,
The big team?
Yeah. So
Oh, wow. Good job.
all I did was walk out my dugout into the other
Oh,
dugout.
wow.
Yeah.
So I would just envision they would call you into the office.
Oh,
and they
yeah. It wasn't any big deal, but
Okay. Yeah, do you remember the first game you ever pitched in the major leagues?
yes, it was in Philadelphia.
Was that Veterans Stadium?
It was at Veterans
Oh, wow.
Stadium.
That was going to be my next question. Okay.
Yeah, against Marty Beister.
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was only in 1980.
It didn't go too well.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was fine, but the whole in the end of it, it didn't go over that great.
Right. That was 1982. The Phillies were still good. The Phillies were good in 82. I know they 83 they made the World Series. They were still good in 82.
Oh yeah.
Big crowd that night?
Big crowd, and I remember facing some of my childhood heroes back there,
Right.
Pete Rose and Mike Schmidt.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
What was it like the first time you faced Mike Schmidt?
Well, it was pretty awesome to see him standing there. I go, oh my God, I got Mike Schmidt up at the plate.
Right.
But it turned out to be my first big league strikeout.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Top 5 first major strikeout against Mike Schmidt. That's incredible. That's awesome. And you remember your first win in the big leagues?
My first win in the big leagues was that same year. It was against St. Louis in St. Louis. It was a 2-1 game, and I think it was 2-1, and we beat Joaquin Andino.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Did Lee Smith get the save?
I believe he did.
Okay. It's one of his 478 saves.
Yeah.
It was your first major league wins. Anything special in the locker room that night?
No. All I remember after the game, it stormed, and I remember looking out the window. This big electrical storm going off, and I'm saying, "Wow, that was the first one. Hope there's more to come."
Right. Nowadays they make a big deal for baseball,
yeah.
every little thing. First hitters, first single, first double, first home run, first RBI. And players have 20 baseballs now, first everything. But they didn't make that.
There's no big deal back then.
Yeah. You just couldn't go on social media to talk
No,
about
there wasn't even cell phones then.
Yeah. All right, so you finished the 82 season. You played the 3 Hall of Famers: Lee Smith, T.C. here, Ryan Sandberg and Ferguson Jenkins.
Right.
Did you learn anything from those players, or?
Well, at that time, Sandberg was a rookie also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Sandberg didn't start out too well that year. He was 0 for his first 33 plate appearances.
Right.
And, he was being threatened to be sent back down to the minor leagues, and they stayed with him, and he went on to have a great career. Another guy could be a Hall of Famer is Bill Buckner was on that team. Bill Buckner was a tremendous hitter. Harry Bow was on that team.
Yeah. A lot of Phillies were on that team. Dallas Green,
Keith Moreland.
Just reading things. Dallas Green, Percy, more of a lot of former Phillies, right?
Right.
There's like Dickie Knowles too.
Dickie Knowles is on that team, right? Yeah.
As a rookie, who'd you learn the most from? Were there any veterans, starting pitchers?
Well, we had Ferguson Jenkins. I used to watch him pitch, and he was kind of a magician. He was at the end of his career, and he really moved the ball around, and he kept hitters off balance.
Right. All right. So I finished the '82 season. Now, what was your '83 season like?
Well, '83 and '84 were very good. I was back down to the minor leagues, and things weren't going so well. I wasn't on top of my game, and I was really struggling.
Did you go to spring training in '83, '84 with the Cubs?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever get frustrated? Did you ever think about quitting, or?
Did I ever think about quitting? Maybe it crossed my mind, but I didn't want to quit. This is one thing I wanted to do,
Sure.
and I knew. What happens is that first time in the big leagues, and you're there, and you're competing. You know you can do it,
Right.
and it's just a matter of And I think what happened to me is I was trying to do too much. I was putting too much. Well, I got to do this. I got to do that. Instead of just relaxing and letting it happen.
All right. So then after the '85 season, you made it back to the big leagues. How'd you go from the Cubs to the Blue Jays?
I became a minor league free agent, and the Toronto Blue Jays kept knocking on my door the minute I was available. The very minute I was available, they were knocking on my door. I guess they had seen me pitch along the way, and things were going okay.
Right.
And so what happened was, I got another opportunity. And that's what really what I needed.
And that year, you had a very good season, 7-0. That was a team that won 99 games that year. So you're pitching big games, clutch baseball. 7-0.
And believe me, we had a great team, a lot of young players. It was a lot of fun. We had the camaraderie in the clubhouse was great. Everything about it, kind of what the Phillies are going through this season, kind of stuff.
And you were on the team throughout September?
Excuse me?
The '85 season, you were with the Blue Jays in
I
September.
was there almost the whole season. Yeah.
The last out to clinch the division. Do you remember that? What it was like?
No, I really don't.
Okay.
I think everyone was kind of subdued, because we thought we had a job to do. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like we had a nice celebration. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But it was more like, all right, we were all business approach.
I assume it wasn't as wild as the Phillies celebration, 22, 23. We're on for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
A little ridiculous.
That's
another story.
I don't think it was. We had our fun, believe me.
Right.
But it wasn't televised. That kind of stuff.
Now these players, assuming that you clinch the division or clinch the wild card, doing the NLDS and the NLCS and West East, you celebrate 4 or 5 times a year. We talk about that at work. It's
a little done sometimes.
Right, the Phillies won the World Series in 2022. They clinched the wild card in 2023 and they're celebrating like, they won the World Series. Things are just different now. Everybody just looks for a reason to celebrate. It's so crazy anymore in sports.
Anything for a celebration.
Right, yes. So the '85 season ends, and what happened in 1986? Did you go to spring training with the Blue Jays?
Yes, I did. I went to spring training with the Blue Jays, and my elbow from the '85 season was still bothering me. I had a couple injections in my elbow. I rested, I worked it out. It didn't really come around, and then I tried to pitch. And the first time I really let it go, it's when it tore.
Did you have to have surgery?
Yes, I had Tommy John surgery. I missed the entire '86 season and most of '87.
We got Tommy. back then was Tommy John popular, but nowadays it seems like every team has like one or they had a list. It was like 50 some guys about Tommy John on the stretch.
There was two of us on my team that had it. You know, Gary Lavelle was a pitcher also who had Tommy John. So
never crossed your mind this might be it?
It's just. The thing is that waiting game and the rehab is it going to come around? You know, even when we start pitching again, is my velocity there? You know, but I think what happened is that season in '85, I learned how to pitch.
Right.
I started using a changeup more. I could throw a breaking ball for a strike now. I had everything kind of working, and so kind of set me up for a little later on.
And when you came back from the surgery, did you feel like you threw the ball a little harder?
No, I don't think so. Not everybody goes back to your level. Right. Some guys might exceed it. Some guys might be below it. Some guys don't come back at all.
Right, exactly.
You know, the only thing you hear about is the guys who come back.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of guys who don't come back.
Exactly.
Or don't come back to anywhere near where they were.
Right.
And but I knew how to pitch, so I wasn't really relying on say velocity to get me by.
So you finished the '87 season in the minors, and then how did you? And then
I was really disappointed I didn't get called up in '87. I pitched really well. For 70 innings that I pitched that year, they were great innings.
And that was when they expanded the roster to 40 players in September.
And I was really that was a tough one.
All right. So then, after the '87 season, that was your last year with the organization, and then the Brewers in '88.
The Brewers picked me up, yes. Okay. So that's how I got with the Brewers.
You went to spring training?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make the team out of spring training?
No, I didn't make the team out of spring training. About the halfway point, it was in June or something, I believe. I got called up, and I was pitching well again. Oh, yeah, it was good.
And you had your first shutout in 1988, first major league shutout.
That was in Detroit.
I remember that stadium, yeah. I remember the halls.
The overhead,
I remember that.
Right field, yes.
I wish I could somehow go back in a time where, experience those stadiums. So the '88 season, that was a good season for you?
Yeah, it started out really well, and then I kind of tailed off at the end. But I think '88 I did okay. I don't remember '88, '89. I think '89 I pitched pretty well the whole season.
Right. And so you played up the Brewers up until 1990, right?
Yeah. And then again, my elbow and shoulder started working again. Yeah, so it was more my shoulder in '90.
Right. And so '91, you remember where you were in 1991?
91. Oh, 91. I was back with the Cubs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played AAA with the Cubs that year. Didn't do too much. I did fine.
Right.
Just not good enough for somebody to bring me up to the big leagues.
Right. And in '92, you were with another organization.
I was with the Mets.
The Mets, yes.
Yeah. And I was pitching really well, even though I didn't have a winning record.
Right.
I was pitching really well. And I pitched well the whole season.
Right. And were things different in 92 as opposed to 82 when you got the call back up to the majors? Did you get the call back in the office?
I was excited. Believe me, I'm still excited to go in the big leagues because there's nothing like being in the big leagues.
Right.
It's one of the best things ever. But I enjoyed every minute of it.
Right.
I wish I had more time there. And I think without the injuries, I would have had substantially more time in the big leagues.
And throughout your career, who were some of the guys you were closest to all those years? Did you have like a roommate when you traveled?
In the minor leagues and then the major leagues, no.
Okay, you're on your own major leagues. Okay. Any particular teammates you really like? I mean, any pranksters?
No, pranksters? Yeah. I played with Tim Lawler, who was a big prankster.
Oh, okay.
He went on, that was when I was with the Yankees, and he went on to play multiple years with San Diego.
Right.
I played with, and then those early years, I played with Buck Showalter.
Okay, I remember as a manager.
Yeah, Steve Balboni. Who you remind me of looking at you?
The Italian guy. Actually met him years ago at an autograph signing. Probably like 2000, 2001.
we had some. Willie McGee was on the team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Willie McGee's a two-time MVP.
Yeah.
And batting champion. Yeah, I played with some really good guys in the Yankees organization back then. Yeah.
And you finished your actual pitching career in 1993, correct?
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Norfolk?
Huh?
Norfolk?
Norfolk, yeah. Norfolk, Virginia was AAA. It wasn't. It was a year that I like to forget.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I pitched well, but I didn't do. As a team, we didn't do well. And,
Right.
And my record reflected, But my earned run average was very good though, for most of the year.
And after you finished pitching in baseball, did you stay involved in baseball?
Yeah, right after I got done playing, I went into coaching. I started with the Yankees. I spent 9 years with the Yankees. That's my first organization.
Right. And just a pitching coach, or?
Yeah, I was a pitching coach. I started out as a rehab coach.
Okay.
And then I became a pitching coach the following year, I went right through our organization up to AAA.
Because the Yankees won the World Series in 95, 97, 95, 97, 98, 99.
96, 90,
Oh, I'm sorry.
96, 98, 99, and
Part
2000.
of 1 year or two. That's like the Braves won in 95. Did you know a lot of the players, or I know a lot of veterans at the Yankees.
Did I know a lot of the players? I knew who they were because they knew me because I was around as a coach. I did play with David Wells back in the day.
Hey, David Wells, if you're listening, I'd love to have you on Scans on David Wells. I remember he was wild, right?
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a big Yankee fan too. But back then they had some big names. Roger Clemens and Pettit.
Right. And they come to the
Mike
minor league system.
Messina. You name it, they have them.
They dominated the minor league, some of those World Series. They swept the Braves in 98. Versus the Padres in 98. I think they swept the Braves in 2000. I know they pretty much dominated the playoffs.
They did.
They just went right through. And so you stayed with the Yankees till 2002?
2003. 2003, I went to Toronto for 1 year.
Okay.
And I coached their AAA team for 1 year.
Manager?
No, I was a pitching coach.
pitching coach.
I was a pitching coach.
Do you have any prospects there that made the majors?
I only had one guy, Vinny Chalk. It was one like really the only real prospect we had back then. Because in minor leagues, you have ebbs and flows of players, groups of players coming through. And I think at that time, Toronto was a little thin in the pitching department.
I'm trying to remember how the Blue Jays were in the early 2000s. I know they were good in their won the World Series back to back, 92, 93. And then after that, where'd you go after the Blue Jays organization?
I went to the Phillies.
Okay. When did you start with the Phillies?
I started 04 with the Phillies. And I started with them in Lakewood, New Jersey.
Oh, wow. That was single A, right?
That was single A, yeah. And then I spent 4 years in Reading, where I had a nice slew of pitchers to work with.
I know the names. If you name the players you had there, that made it.
Cole Hamels.
Right, Cole Hamels.
Jay Happ.
World Series. Yeah.
Jay Happ was one of them. Kyle Henry. Gio Gonzalez. He almost won the Cy Young.
Yeah,
I'm
trying to think what trade he was in. Phillies, that's when they were trying to put him back then.
Carlos Carrasco.
Still in baseball. Still in Cleveland, I think, right?
So I was very fortunate to have some really good guys along the way.
Now, when somebody like Cole Hamels in the minor league, can you just right away just know the difference between him and
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he was special. I remember the first day he came to Double A, and he goes, "Hey, you mind catching up for me?" Because he came to the game late. He got called up from A-ball, and I'm playing catch, and he goes to throw that first fastball. I'm down, I act like I'm a catcher, and I go to get it. I think it's going to be low, and it had that nice little rise and kick to it, and I caught it.
Right.
But I was lucky to catch it because I didn't have a mask on either.
Right.
I lost some chiclets on that one.
And I can only imagine, standing there as a left-handed batter, that change-up.
He was amazing, and just his demeanor on the mound, the way he looked, the way he handled himself. Of course, he had the stuff, the fastball, the change-up, and he had a curveball.
Yeah, he had one heck of a career. Last start of the Phillies with no hitter, right?
Antonio Pistardo was on that
But the
team.
starter, the left-hander reliever. Yeah, he's pretty nasty. He had about 4 or 5 year stretch in bad.
There's probably more. I just can't remember them.
Right, yeah. All right, so you coach ready from 05 to 09?
In my last year, I coached a rookie ball team in Williamsport, PA.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. We had a nice team. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that team.
And after the Phillies, where did you go after that?
The Phillies, I was recruited by the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the Pirates were looking for a coach that could take over their AA team where they had a lot of prospects.
Right.
And there's where I fell into it with really good players. We had a very good team. We won the league in 2010. We won the Eastern League. And I had a slew of guys. I think the first 12 guys I started out with, 10 of them made it to the big leagues.
Yeah, because the Pirates went through that stretch. They made the playoff
Oh.
like 12, 13, or 14 in that
13,
area.
14,
They
yes.
were years, okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of those players you
A
coached.
lot of those players I had, yeah.
Right. Yeah. They were good series against the Cardinals. And, I was rooting for the Pirates. I'm so sick of the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals been good forever. I was rooting for the Pirates then. When did you officially retire from business?
I retired in 2020. It was during the COVID. COVID was kind of like the season was terminated, and I was only going to coach one more year, and that was so I figured that was going to be about it.
Right. No desire to go back or have
No.
to retire?
I spent so much time away from the family. It was nice being home during COVID.
Right, yeah.
I kind of fell in love with that.
Right, yeah.
I didn't really need to do anything else, so I decided that I was going to call it a career.
And what do you enjoy in retirement? Any hobbies or do you enjoy?
Well, one thing I do a lot of is I play golf.
Right. Okay.
I play golf 4 days a week, so that really keeps me busy.
Yeah.
And I like to work out. I like to try to stay in shape and do stuff like that.
Do you follow Major League Baseball?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I look at my phone. It's always the Phillies first.
Right, yeah, watch it today. Against the Pirates, ironically.
Yeah.
Great game. That young kid, Phillips, looked really good. Tyler Phillips, I believe his name. Yeah, looked
threw the
good.
ball really well.
Right. And some of the rule changes. Could you imagine pitching with I said shot clock, with a
Pitch
clock?
clock, I always worked a little bit on the faster side, so I don't think that would have affected me at all. Some guys it might have.
Right.
But for me, I was always got the ball, let's go, got it, walked back, got my sign, and pitched, so I didn't really have to worry about any of that stuff.
Right. And the one rule I like, initially I hated, I thought it was the dumbest rule ever, but I actually kind of like it now, is the extra inning rule, the man on second, because it's kind of good to get the game over, man.
Yeah, some of those games can really, later on, so I think it was a good thing for the game. I didn't like it in the beginning, but I think I turned into a fan, because there's stuff that goes more than 11, maybe 12 at the most.
Right. You remember any games that went 18, the crazy amount of
Oh
innings?
yeah, I think I was involved in an 18-inning game, and it was terrible.
Especially as a starting pitcher, you're not going to get in, you sit there and watch for 3-4 extra hours.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Right. And I just want to mention, I'm at Fireside Tavern. They were gracious enough to host this for the show. So thank you to Fireside Tavern. So I guess the last question, we're coming up at the end of the show. Anything happen in the playoffs? Do you like the Phillies' chances this year?
Do I like the Phillies' chances?
Oh, at all.
The Phillies have an unbelievable team. They really do. Their starting lineup is second to none. I love their starting pitching. I had an opportunity to do the futures game, coaching the futures game in 2012.
Right.
And a number of the Phillies are on that team. Zach Wheeler was on that team. Harper was on that team, and so was Castellanos.
Oh, wow.
So there's 3 Philly guys who were on the futures team in 2012.
And Castellanos is doing much better this year. He hit another home run today.
I mean, their lineup's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They can steal a base when they need to. They have all the tools, and the starting pitching, and then the relief pitching is very good as well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's worried about a fifth starter, but you know, they're about a 7 or 8 game lead now.
I'm actually the least of your worries
I know,
after
exactly.
starter.
People feel they have to panic about something, but I think we'll be okay.
Because that fifth starter's never going to pitch in a playoff.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's not the guy you worry about. It's the other guys you worry about.
Right. The other 4 guys are doing so well, so it's like people see to worry about something, you know. All right, but thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And
You got it.
thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Scan Talk. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And all right, thank you.
You got it.
Hi, baby.